Welcome to QGIS. I am going to be showing you how to produce scout maps using the pasture key imagery that is located in your data folders. In order to produce the required scout maps for going out into the paddock and assessing what you have on the ground in relation to what is showing in the pasture key imagery, you will need 4 files. So the first one is your paddock's GeoJSON file. This is simply your paddock mapping. The next one is your total standing dry matter 15-day median image. This will be your most recent image unless, of course, it is cloud affected, and as a result you need to work out which image is the most valid for the job. You also need your fractional cover 15-day median image and your 15-day median display image. You can simply drag and drop these into QGIS like so. You must ensure that your paddocks layer is up the top of these layers, and that will be the first layer that we're working on. So you can toggle these layers on and off by clicking on this box, the tick box here. So currently we have the paddocks layer selected, and this is the only one that we have got ticked on at the moment. What I'm going to do is right click on this paddock layer and go down to properties. We'll then go to the symbology tab here, and we're going to click on simple fill, and we're going to go to fill color, click this drop down and make it transparent. So this will allow the other layers to come through whilst keeping the paddock mapping there. So we'll go down and we'll click apply, and you can see that the paddocks now have transparent fill. Now we also want to add our paddock names to this layer. So on the left hand side we're going to go to labels. Up the top here we're going to select single labels. Our paddock names are under title. We are going to make our text the correct size that we want. We're going to make it size 8 for this particular job, and we're going to go down and click apply. Now you can see that the paddock names have just appeared. We have a couple more formatting things that we want to do here. We actually want to add a buffer around the text, and you'll see why in a minute. Apply. And we also want to make sure our placement is correct. So we actually want to force these paddock names inside the polygons if they're not already there. And then we can go okay. So that's our paddock layer sorted. The next one that we want to look at is our display image. So I'm going to highlight this display layer here, and I'm also going to tick it on like so. Now up in the top bar here, you can see there's a number of little histogram pictures. Now what we want to do is click once on this leftmost histogram, like so. We can see that that's actually brought in, highlighted the colours in this display image. If it does not do the job on the first go, what you want to do is actually zoom in to a point on the map that is capturing most of the colours, and you can click it again. And you can see it makes it a little bit darker. So that is our display image all ready to go. Now, next one we want to click on our fractional cover image, and I'm going to tick this on, and I'm going to tick our display image off. Now we'll be doing the same thing with our fractional cover image, but it usually only takes one click for this image to fix itself. So we're going to click the histogram again, and there you can see that our fractional cover image is now looking like it's supposed to. Okay, finally we want to edit our total standing dry matter layer. So I'm going to highlight this layer, tick it on, we're going to tick off our other layer. Now you can see that this is not showing us any of the colours that you normally will see on your web interface. So there's a couple of special things that we've got to do for this particular layer. We're going to right click on the layer and go down to properties. We're then going to go to symbology, and down the very bottom here where it says style, we actually want to load a special style. Now you will receive a folder containing the styles that you will need in order to do this job. So we want to click on this. Now the particular style that I want to load for myself, it is saved in here, and it's the 250 to 5,000 kilos version 3. So I'm going to click on that like so, and we're going to apply it, go OK, and as you can see, we've now got our total standard dry matter imagery there in the colour that we want. So all 4 layers are looking good, however the job is not quite done yet. We actually need to create these maps as GeoPDFs, and to do that we need to create a special layout. So what we're going to do first of all is we need to save this as a project. So we're going to go up to the top left hand menu here, click on project, I'm going to save as, and you can name this project whatever you would like. Just going to save it to my desktop, and I'm going to call it test QGIS. And we're going to put today's date. Alrighty, what we then need to do is go up to project again, and we want to go to new print layout. Once you have done this once, by the way, you will have these layouts saved, so you can actually skip a few steps and go straight to your saved layouts. So for this one, we are going to call it we'll start with our display image. So we're going to call it QGIS test display. Okay. So what has popped up is a new screen with pretty much a blank canvas here. We have opened up our new layout. What you can do on this blank canvas is you can right click, go to page properties, and depending on the orientation of your map, you can either make it a landscape or portrait. For this particular map, we're going to keep it as landscape. And you can also change the size or the resolution to either A3 or A4 or whatever you would like. We will change it to A3 for this purpose, like so. We can then exit out of that. What we then need to do, in order to add a map, we need to go over to the left-hand side and select this one, which is Add Map. Then what we need to do is, we've got this little cross as our mouse at the moment, so we actually need to click and hold down our mouse and basically select the area that we want the map to cover, which is going to be the whole canvas. Then we let go when we're in the other corner. Okay, so you can see that we've now got our map up here. So once you've got your map on your blank canvas, you can actually change the scale so that the map is using as much of the canvas as possible. So what you can do is you can click on the map and you can right click and go to item properties, and you can see here that your scale is up the top, so you can change this if you want to make the map bigger or smaller. So we might change it down to 48,000, like so, and you can see that it's anything on the map. And then close this. So if you want to move the map around, you can go over to the left-hand side here, click on this little Move Item Content logo, and you can actually click and drag like so. So we're going to pop it up in the sort of the top left corner. Okay, what we're missing for this one, for our first layout, is a legend. In order to put a legend on here, we need to go over to the left-hand side and click on the Add Legend bar. And then, same as how we added the map, we want to select the area to put the legend. So I'm going to put it over in this bottom right-hand corner. So I'm going to click and hold down and then let go. Okay, so you can see that we've got a really big legend here. We actually don't need all of this information. So basically, if we right-click and go to item properties, it will come up with everything that's been displayed in this legend. If we untick auto update, this will let us manually remove the things that we don't want. So I am not interested in the total standing dry matter legend because that's not what this image is. So we can select it and click the minus button and it will get rid of it for us. I'm also not interested in this fractional cover layer. We can get rid of that. I'm also not interested in this layer because it's not telling us anything important. Basically, all I want is this particular layer, but for this image, I want to make sure that I've got the date so we know exactly what imagery it is that we're looking at. So if you're not sure what the date is, you can go over to your layers here and it will have the date in your layer name. So 2022 0917, so it's the 17th of September. Okay. Then you can move this wherever you want it to be. So we'll just pop it down the bottom right hand corner like so. You can get out of that now. Okay, we're now going to save this particular layout. So we're going to go up to layer and we're going to go down to export as a PDF. We're going to save it in our desktop. We're going to call it QGIS test display. We're going to put the date and we're going to go save. Now, it'll come up with this screen when you click on save and we want to tick the option create a geospatial PDF. So this means that when you're out in the paddock and once you've loaded this map into Avenza Maps or whatever program you're using, it will be able to track your GPS location in conjunction with this imagery. So we're going to tick that box and we're going to click on save. Done. Now we've got another two layers that we want to produce GeoPDF maps for. So what we're going to do is actually duplicate this layer. So we're going to go up to the layout button in the top left hand corner. We're going to go to duplicate layer and we're going to call the next one our fractional cover. And go okay. Cool. So we can get out of the other map. On our home screen, we want to make sure we've got the layer ticked and highlighted that we want on our map. So next one we're going to do is fractional cover. So I'm going to highlight it and I'm going to tick it. And we're going to go back into our home screen here. We're going to add our map and we're going to basically follow the process again. But you can see here that we've got the correct map. So we want to delete that old map and add our new map here. Same deal, we can change our scale so it takes up as much room as possible. Then in order to move that map around to get it all in view, we can do that. So for the fractional cover layer, we actually need to add an image as our legend rather than a legend like we did with the display image. So what we're going to do on the left hand side is we're going to click on the add picture option. We're then going to select where we want that picture to go. And we're going to right click and we're going to go to item properties. We want this picture to be a raster image and then we want to find our image. So this particular image for me is saved in my documents. You will be sent this image if you are currently doing Scout Map at home and we want to open it up. And there we've got our fractional cover image legend. To save this layer or export this layer as a PDF like before. Instead we're going to be calling this one our fractional cover. Save, we want to make it a geospatial PDF. I'm going to save. Right. We then want to go layer, we want to duplicate the layer and we're going to call the next one our PSD. Okay. Basically, we can exit out of that old layout and we now have a new one to work on. So I'm going to delete everything that we've got there because we don't need it anymore. Then we're going to add our map. But first of all, we need to make sure that we've got our TSDN layer highlighted and selected. Add our map like so. Again, you can right click and go to item properties and you can change the scale here. You can then move your map around so it's in the position that you want. And for our total standing dry matter layer, we're going to add a legend similar to the display image and select where we want this to go. I'm going to right click on that legend just to do a bit of editing. So basically we want to keep these total standing dry matter color legends. We can delete, untick auto update, and we can delete any bits that we don't want, like so. We can make that a bit smaller. Squeeze it on like so. And we can delete that top one as well. Okay, it's all looking pretty good. So now what we want to do is, again, export this as a PDF. So this time I'm going to call it our TSDN image. And we're going to save it. We're going to make sure it's a geospatial PDF. And we're going to go save. Alrighty. We can now exit out of this. What you have just created is 3 layouts that you can use in future when doing this. So you can see if you go to project and down to layouts, we've got these 3 layouts here. So you will be able to select these when you go to create your next scout maps, and it will automatically have things pre-filled for you. So all you'll need to do is update your imagery.